Hi guys, this is Shy Swede, and in this video we're going to look at equipments in Raid Shadow Legends and what you need to know if you're just starting up the game. In Raid Shadow Legends, equipment is called artifacts, and you find them here under the champion screen, which is also where you equip your artifacts to your champions. And when you go to the champion screen, you find all the artifacts here on the right that you have equipped to your champion right now. And there's 9 different kinds of artifacts that you can equip to a champion, and they are a weapon, a helm, a shield, some gloves, a chest, some boots, a ring, an amulet, and a banner. Just as your champions, artifacts come in different rarities. You can get common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary artifacts. And what differs between them is how many substats your artifact will start out with. A legendary artifact will always have 4 substats, while a common artifact will have 0 substats. And on a common artifact you will get new substats as you level them up on level 4, 8, 12 and 16. While on a legendary artifact, your substats you already have will get stronger when you level them up on to level 4, 8, 12 and 16. You can say that your equipment is kind of divided into 2 different parts. It's these 3 up here, the weapon, the helm and the shield. They will always have a fixed main stat, the same main stat. And the other 6 ones can have a different main stat depending on how lucky you get and what you roll on your artifacts. So let's get into them. The weapon will always have attack as a main stat. The helm will always have HP as main stat, and the shield will always have defense as main stat. And the only thing that changes between these is how far you can level up the main stat depending on how many stars your artifact has. So if we go to the gloves and the chest and the boots, they can have a lot of different main stats. They can have HP percent, attack percent, defense percentage, or they can have fixed stats just like the weapon, helm and shield, like attack, HP and defense. But they can also have speed, they can have crit damage, or they can have crit rate, or accuracy, or resistance. So there's a whole lot of different main stats that the glove and chest and boots can have, and it really depends on what you're going to use your hero for, what you want to use. But as a main rule, as a beginner, I would say that go with crit rate on your gauntlets and go with speed on your boots, because crit rate is always important, especially if you want to do high damage, because a crit attack does so much more damage than a regular attack. So go with crit rate on your gauntlets, and on your boots go with speed, because speed is maybe the most important stat in the whole game, especially in the beginning, together with accuracy. And then on the chest, you just need to choose what is best for the hero you are using right now and what you're going to use them for. If you're going to use a champion for the clan boss, probably defense percentage is the best. If it's going to be an arena nuker, probably attack percentage is the best. If it's going to be a debuffer, you need to have accuracy maybe in the beginning. So the chest, just decide what you want to use your champion for, and then choose the main stat that is best for that champion. When it comes to the accessories down here, the ring, the amulet and the banner, there is a big difference between the other ones in the case that you cannot equip all 3 of them from the beginning. You have to ascend your heroes to be able to use these slots. Only the ring is open from the beginning, and then you have to ascend your hero to 5 stars to open up the amulet, and you need to ascend your hero to 6 stars to open up the banner. Let me show here on a champion that is not ascended yet. It looks like this, and you see here 5 stars to open this and 6 stars to open this. Except in that it's kind of similar to the gloves and chest and boots, in the case that they will have different main stats on them. But one difference is that there will be no attack, HP or defense percentage on any of them. So you need to go with fixed stats here. Again, here on these ones it totally depends on what you're going to use your champion for. Like if you have a tank, or if you're going to use them in the clan boss, you will want to have defense percentage. If you have a nuker, you're going to want to have attack and maybe crit damage on your amulet, and your banner. In a lot of cases you will want to have accuracy on your banner, because accuracy is really important to be able to put debuffs on your opponent. So again, this is a lot of different ones to choose from, and my proposal is to go online and check guides that are out there to what the best artifact for your situation would be, because there is a lot to choose from and you will get a lot of tips and hints on what to move on and what to equip. Another thing that is important to know about your artifacts is that they will come in sets. You will have 2-piece sets or 4-piece sets, and what they do is they give you an extra boost to your stats, or they give your champion a specific ability if you have 2 or 4 pieces of the same set equipped. For example, this life set here, you need 2 pieces to get the extra boost, and the extra boost will be 15% extra HP, and this will be based off the base HP your champion has. So for this, if I would equip 2 pieces of life set to this champion, I would be getting 15% extra out of 21,135. And then we have some of the 4-piece set, for example the lifesteal set, which is one of the best sets to use in the clan boss. If you equip 4 lifesteal pieces, then your champion will heal by 30% of the damage dealt each time your champion deals damage. This is really good in the clan boss, especially if you combine it with the right skills, and your champion will pretty much just heal itself every time it attacks. So it's really important to remember that try to get your sets together so you can get those extra benefits. However, though, in the beginning when you're just starting out, it might not be optimal to put a set on your champion just to have a set. Look over your equipment, your artifacts, and see if maybe there is something that will raise your abilities or your stats even more, because a lot of the time that is the case in the beginning, that you will have a broken set but your stats will still be higher than it would have been with a set. So in the beginning, maybe not optimal, but the further you get into the game, you should try to start pairing up your sets to get the extra benefit, because that might be the little tiny thing that tips the scale over to be able to progress in the game. If I were to give any advice on what sets to use in the beginning, I would say that speed and accuracy and offense is probably the sets you're going to use the most, because you want to kind of maximize your damage output in the beginning to be able to progress as far as possible. But then there's also champions that which attacks are based off HP or defense. So in those cases you will want defense or HP sets instead. All of the sets are useful, but you just have to use them in the right way. If we go back to the substats of the artifacts, let's find the one that has some better equipment. For example, this helmet is legendary, a legendary speed set that is 6 stars, and as you can see it has 4 different substats, and the number within the brackets here shows how many times have this been leveled up when I got my helmet to level 16. So attack has gone up in percentage here, crit damage has gone up, and resistance has gone up. These numbers here were lower from the beginning, and they got leveled up when I got to level 4, 8, 12 and 16, as I mentioned before. And when it comes to the substats, it's kind of important the further into the game you get that you have good substats on your artifacts. In the beginning I would focus more on the main stat to progress in the game as much as possible, but the further into the game you get, the more important your substats get, and you need good substats to actually be able to progress further towards the end game. And at the end game you cannot really have artifacts like I do with the fixed stats like HP here. this would have, I would have much rather had like attack percentage or something on this, but I really wanted a Relentless set on Rotos, so this was the best I had to go with right now. And sometimes you do have to do that, but more optimal would be to have something like crit damage percentage here or something. So the further you go, the more important your substats will be, but in the beginning you cannot really be that picky with substats. To round this video off, I have two very basic tips to give more. Number one is that in the beginning you should consider not leveling your artifacts up to level 16, because getting your artifacts to level 16 will cost a lot of silver. Sometimes you will spend like 2-3 millions on 1 million silver on one artifact to just get it to level 16, because you will not have any luck with RNG. So consider just staying at maybe level 12, because that will not be nearly as expensive and you will still get most of the benefit out of the artifact if you stay at level 12. So and then after you can move on to the next artifact and get that up to level 12 for probably cheaper than you would have had to pay to get your first artifact up to level 16. So stay at level 12, get all your artifacts on one champion to level 12, and then you can start considering if you want to get any of them up to level 16 to get the full benefit out of the stats increase and so on. Number two is, don't do what I've done right now. Don't collect all your artifacts so you have a full one, a full chest. I have 700 artifacts right now, so every new artifact I collect will end up in the vault or whatever it's called, where I need to go and collect it later once I've gotten rid of these artifacts. So go through your artifacts, look at them and decide if you think you're going to use them further on or not. If not, then sell them, because you're going to need the silver from selling your artifacts as well. So don't do what I've done. Don't collect all the artifacts, and use the silver for better things instead. So that was it for this video, and if you found it useful and liked it, please give me a like and don't forget to subscribe. I'm Shy Swede, and see you at the next video.